Hello students, good morning. I welcome you for our today's EVS 1 class. Students, we have started with lesson number 3, Animal Shelters, and we have completed the first part of the lesson. Now today, before starting with the next part, let us revise what we have studied in our last EVS 1 class. In lesson 3, Animal Shelters, we have studied like us, animals also need shelter. Shelter means a safe place where one is protected from any danger, or a place where one is protected from sun, rain, wind, cold, etc. Then we have studied about the animals who build their own shelters, in which we have some birds like weaver bird, tailor bird, etc. And to build this nest, which is their shelter, they make use of things like grass, straw, twigs, cotton wool, etc. Then there are some insects like honeybees who also build their own shelter, that is honeycomb. Then you also have rats and mice in this group of animals who build their own shelter. Rats and mice, they make holes, okay, and that is their shelter. We have also studied that rats and mice, they cannot make holes in cement construction, but they can make holes in mud houses. Now today let us start with the next part of the lesson, page number 17. Animals that find ready shelters in the surroundings. Now see children, some animals do not make any effort to build a shelter. Any effort means उनको कुछ मेहनत नहीं करने को अच्छा लगता है. They don't want to make their own shelter, but they look for ready shelter in the surroundings, or they simply look around for a safe place. And in this group we have doves or pigeons. Some doves or pigeons, they live in forest. Okay. Then some live in small hollows in high cliffs. Cliff means children, you can see big rock. Okay. So a steep face of a rock. In that these pigeons, they take shelter. See here you can see the picture of a pigeon taking shelter in a small hollow in high cliffs. Cliffs means what children? A steep face of a rock. Big rocks are there, no? In that. Here also you can see picture of a pigeon taking shelter in cliff. Okay, then we have some pigeons who live near our houses, and we also provide them food, that is grains. Then some pigeons find shelter in gaps in walls. See here you can see. Then like doves and pigeons, you have some wild animals like tigers, leopards and hyenas who live in caves. These caves are also ready shelters in the surroundings. See, here you can see the picture of a tiger in a cave. Tiger, leopard, hyenas, they live in caves. Caves are shelter for them. Here you can see a picture of a leopard. See, here you can see how the leopard is taking shelter in caves. Then you have this animal called as hyenas. They look somewhat like dog. They are also wild animals and they live in caves. Let us read this part, children. Some animals do not make any efforts to build a shelter. They simply look around for a safe place. Some doves and pigeons live in forests. Some live in small hollows in high cliffs. Cliff means, children, a steep face of a rock. That is the gaps in big rocks you can see. Some live near our houses. They find shelter in gaps in walls. Tigers, leopards, hyenas live in caves. Next part. Children, which animal is this? Yes, it is a picture of a bat. Bats are not birds, but they are coming in group of animals who suckle their young ones like cow, goat, dog, etc. We have studied about them in lesson 2. So many kinds of animals. Now see, what is their shelter? Let us see. Some types of bats, they live in tall trees. See, here you can see how they're hanging on the branches of the tree. Then some bats, they live in dark caverns in mountains. Dark caverns means, children, dark caves you can say. These dark caves in mountains, in that also some bats live. Here they take their shelter. Or sometimes they also look for shelter in old, deserted, tumble down buildings. पुरानी building what we say, जहाँ कोई नहीं रहता है. In those buildings also, these bats take the shelter. Okay, let us read this part. Some types of bats live in tall trees, but some live in dark caverns in mountains, or they look for shelter in old, deserted, tumble-down buildings. Next part, do you know? Now see, children, this is a picture of a ant hill. This is a picture of an ant hill. Okay. Now, some people believe that these ant hills, they are made by cobra. That is a snake. Okay. Some people believe that the ant hills are made by cobra, which is a snake. But no, it is wrong. These ant hills are made in fields by making use of grains of soil, that is small particles of soil. The shape is like a hill. That is why they are called as ant hills. And in the name itself, ant hills means these ant hills are not built by cobra, that is the snake, but it is made by ants. Okay, children, I repeat, these ant hills, they are made by using grains of soil. They are made in fields, okay, or in jungles you can say. But these are made by ants. That is why they are called as ant hills, and they are not made by cobra, that is a snake. But these snakes called cobras. They live in holes. See, you can see how the cobra snake is trying to come out of the hole. So these holes are the shelter for the snake called cobra or any of the snake. Their shelter is in holes or burrows, you can say. Let us read this part, children. Do you know? The last part on page 17. It is believed that a cobra lives in an ant hill, but that is not true. Ant hills are built by ants, not by a cobra. The cobras live in holes. Okay, children. Now next, page 18. See, here we have studied about the animals that find ready shelters in the surroundings. That is, they don't take any effort. कुछ मेहनत नहीं करते, just they find shelter which are readily available in the environment or the surroundings. In our last class, we have studied about the animals who build shelters for themselves on their own.